Hi, my name is Sam Handy. I'm the creative director of Adidas Running, and it's a pleasure for me to try and record this film from home to answer some of the questions that you were kind to ask me over the last couple of days. Innovation is at the heart of every single thing we do. So every product we work on has innovation at the core and problem solving at the core. So how are we building the best for the athlete? How are we delivering an amazing experience? How are we making every run better? How are we delivering every kick of the ball is going to be the best kick of a ball you ever had? So innovation is what fuels everything of that. We have an incredible innovation department in Adidas who've delivered ingredients like Boost, like Carbon 4D, like Prime Knit, and we take these ingredients and we then bring them together with our deep knowledge of how athletes perform and how people think about and use our products, and then pull franchises, so pull unique designs out of the combination of the innovation ingredient, the athlete insight, and the design process of trying to tell that story visually in a shoe. So for me, the sketching process is about transforming an idea in your head into something that other people can understand. So I don't have an industrial design background. So I studied graphic design and photography, and I came into the industry via that. One thing I think that's really important to remember, and something that I share with the team, and I definitely like to share with anyone who's interested, how well you can draw isn't as important as the quality of the ideas that are in your head. And the drawing process in footwear design in a company like Adidas, it's a question of being able to get an idea translated visually that you can explain to people what you mean. Because you're going to draw by hand to kind of say what you mean. And it's about, you're going to draw a shoe, and it can be as loose and as sketchy as you want it to be, if it helps people understand that what you're talking about is what's in your head. A lot of what we spend our time talking about is the differences between things. So when you're designing a shoe, for example, you need to think about making it different to every other shoe in a pretty crowded industry, different than other shoes that have come before it. And if you're updating a franchise, for example, like the Ultra Boost, that you're making it maintain some of the reason that people love the original. So we're working on the Ultra Boost 21 at the moment that I'm sure people will see quite soon. But the idea in that was, if you can define the iconic elements of the original Ultra Boost, you want to have a sock, you want to have a big wedge of boost, you want to have a heel counter, so how are you going to develop that heel counter to be something more dynamic and more exciting? You need to have branding, and that branding needs to be anchored in an element that people can really connect with the original Ultra Boost. But then how would you innovate that element, and how would you take it further? The finished design comes through an interaction process with engineering teams, with working in the computer, with working on shell patterns, working with materials, working with constructions. It's not a pure sketching industrial design exercise. It's a combination of lots of different processes and lots of different ingredients. I guess what I'd try and say to that if you love sneakers, if you love sport, and you're not great at drawing, it's probably not really what's going to hold you back. What's more important is your ideas and finding a way to quickly and easily get those ideas out of your head and explain them to someone else. One story that I really remember, and I have the sample here, it was the first time we built the Pogba edition of the laceless Ace. So I'd joined the football category maybe about 6 months before this shoe came out. So we'd been working on or finalizing and finishing up the innovation of laceless. And at the same time, Paul was signing with the Adidas brand. And as part of signing with the brand, we were building him his first standalone shoe. So I'd been to visit him a few times in Turin. So he was playing for Juve then. And it was the first time that Paul had come out playing for Adidas and in this brand new innovation and very shiny, beautiful snakeskin Ace laceless. And he came out onto the pitch, and I think it was the first goal of the game that he came out. He smashed the goal in, and I went crazy. Bayern went on to absolutely crush Juve in that game, and the Bayern fans were happy in the end. But that was one of the most special moments for me in working in a sports brand. Another one that I'm working on now, or privileged to be part of a team that I'm working on, is the next generations of Adidas 4D. So this is the 4D run that we brought to the market this year. It's the next generation. It's lighter, it's more cushioned, it's more comfortable. But being able to work with a material innovation like 3D printing for footwear, it really feels like we're at the very edge of what's possible and developing completely new ways of building things on quite a surprising pace. So you'll see next generation of this technology coming next year, and it's really very exciting to work on. Some other products that I find inspirational, that I feel very privileged to be part of a brand that works on. One for me would be the Parley UN TFP recycled ocean plastic shoe. So I didn't work on this, but I find it very inspirational as a product. And for me, it's a great example of how it looks is a result of how it's built. Like, this is a way to put those materials together as the team were first learning how to interact with this ocean plastic material. But I also think it's a real turning point for the industry and turning point for Adidas, where you saw that people reacted to innovation in sustainability in the same way, or even in a more excited way than they would react to innovation around elite athlete performance. And now being able to pull those two things together and working on the next generations of shoes like this is very inspirational for me. If I had advice for anyone starting out in design, I think the most important thing isn't how technically skilled you are, how great you can draw, how artfully you can light a photograph. I think the most important thing is your creativity. So being able to have ideas and have new ideas, and hard work and dedication. Working hard takes you a lot further than raw design skill, and a lot of raw design skill or design experience you learn by doing it. You learn a lot more around how shoes are constructed by sitting in a factory and building a shoe. The future of running innovation to me is very clear and based around two ingredients. Improving human performance is the role of a sports brand, and it's something that Adidas is founded on. And this improvement of how people can run faster, run better, set world records, break world records, win competition and events is the heart of the brand, and drives and has driven a huge part of the innovation process. But the idea that now on top of this, we're placing an equal importance in sustainability and innovating elite performance whilst being more positive to the world, and pulling these two ingredients and processes and kind of sets of meaning together is going to build brand new product that people have never seen before. And I find that really exciting to be working with. I just want to say to everyone, thank you very much for sending in your questions. I hope I gave you some helpful or interesting answers. Stay safe, look after yourselves, and I wish everyone all the best. Thank you very much. Bye.